What's up, y'all? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and I'm out here with the Leader 120 here. And as you can see, I got some new props on it. These are RotorX 25-35 props. So, and they're quad blades, as you can see. So, about to test these out on the Leader. I have been flying these props on the King Kong 110 GT, and it flies really nice with them. And so I brought this Leader out instead of the 110 because the last comparison video of the Leader and the Fly Egg 130 and the 110 GT, the FPV signal wasn't appearing to be good on here, but that was because the monitor didn't lock onto the channel. It didn't fully lock onto the channel, so I figured I'd bring this one out and test these props here, and at the same time let you guys see what the video feed looks like when it actually locks on. So let's get this thing up in the air and check it out. I'm wondering if these props are cut down on draw as well. Also, this Leader 120 does come with a buzzer, but mine doesn't have a buzzer because I broke my buzzer trying to figure out that min throttle idle speed thing. But anyhow, let's fire this thing up. Let's make sure we lock in on the channel all the way. Anyhow, make sure it fully locks on the correct channel. Okay, so it appears to be locked in on the channel and it's recording. So I'm going to sit it down on the ground though. Hope that doesn't affect it. Okay, let's take off with this thing. So it does take off. Let's try a throttle punch with it. You can see the throttle punch is still violent with this thing, with these props here. Still flips nice and all. Whoa! I had to throw it into angle mode there. I almost crashed. Almost banged out early in the morning. Back in acro now. So it seems to fly nice with these props. Really quiet, surprisingly quiet. I thought that the tri-blades would be more quiet. These props had the same effect on the 110 GT actually. Flies very quiet with them. Seems to be faster too. I don't know if it has more power. That punch out looks equivalent though. Looks comparable. And also some people were saying that having the idle speed down to 3.7.5 is too low. They were saying that going the opposite way with it would make it act up more, even more, make it flip out even more. But I didn't have that experience though. When someone told me to turn up the idle speed, well, they just told me to adjust it, I thought, and so I turned mine down and it had positive effects, as you can see. Mine doesn't have that flipping problem anymore since I changed it to 3.7.5 to be exact. But also I did go up to 6.0 on the digital idle speed, and it didn't act up that way either on that setting. But the problem that I had with that was it seemed like the motors were always running too high, so when I did flips it didn't roll over in place as it does with it down on 3.7.5. the way I have it. So I prefer to have it this way, and I'm not having any issues. That's my 3-minute mark there. Now I don't know what it is. My guess is that maybe when you lower it to a certain point, that they're saying that the problem occurs when you lower the throttle all the way when doing flips or whatever you're doing. Oops. Butterfingers. And I guess this is the durability test for these props. You can see one of them is bent down pretty bad. I missed that catch there. Let's see if these are anything like the smaller versions, the 2035 bullnose props, then they can bend back into place, and it looks like it bent back into place too. Let's test it real quick. Yep, I just have to adjust them a little more. Seems like some of the other ones are bent, so it's giving that low bass hum. So while I adjust that, everything looks to be okay. So as I was saying, they were saying that the problem stems from one of the motors stopping, having the idle speed so low that sometimes when you lower them all, sometimes one of them would actually stop, and then it would take time to start them back up, and they're saying that that causes the flip. Now my guess is that maybe when you lower them to a certain point, that maybe all of them might stop, or maybe they might come closer to stopping all of them, and so when you give throttle again, maybe they're not so far off so it doesn't flip. I don't know. That's just my guess. But anyhow, this thing doesn't flip with the idle speed set down to 3.7.5 for me, and I love it this way because it doesn't have too much throttle going on the idle, and it's not too floaty. It seems like on 6.0 and up, I heard that, I don't know if NDRC said he put his on 12 or 10, but that seems like it's way too high. But I noticed with the idle speed set to 6.0, it's way too floaty. It takes too long to come back down when you're trying to descend. So I like it better at 3.7.5, and these props seem like they operate really nice on this thing. Seems like it had decent speed, really fast speed actually. I don't know if it was faster than the stock props, but they're darn good, and the punch out seemed to be just about the same, if not better. So that's it, a quick demo flight of the Leader 120 with RotorX 25-35 props, quad bleeds. Thanks for watching.